station.
Bring the needs of the people to the limelight and get us some help. The second thing, which is really dear to my heart, is local education. If I look at the education statistics in my constituency and compare it to other parts of the country, I think we can do a lot more to improve the education of our people. And it's easy to make promises, but the how is the big deal. So what we have agreed between myself and my people to do, what I've promised them, which they've bought into, is that we're going to establish an education trust fund, which is going to help us fund some of the initiatives that we want to put up in education, providing scholarships, investing in education infrastructure.
What is the current situation there now?
Well, currently there are a lot of deplorable schools. There are still schools in some very sheltered places. I won't exactly say schools under trees, but if you look at the infrastructure there, it's just a bit away from trees. There are schools that are still in plywood buildings. Teachers don't want to come to some parts of the district because of the conditions there, the difficulties there. Parents struggle, even with the current capitation, etc., to provide for their kids in school. And we think that what we need is a new channel for funding or supporting the funding of investment in education. So we're doing an education trust fund. I promised my people that if I'm successful, I'm going to put 25% of my salary as member of parliament as seed money into the education trust fund.
Wow.
So that we have the moral right to come to Live FM and say, Jay and Jeremy, can you help me raise 10,000 cedis extra?
We are going
to organize their potential in farming. And so what we want to do is to organize them into little cooperatives and get them some help so that they can do a lot more. Healthcare is a big deal. We've got about 100,000 people in my constituency and we have no doctor.
What?
100,000 people, no doctor. So,
Then the recent strike, they were really on strike.
To the contrary, because we don't have a doctor, so if doctors go on strike, it's an everyday occurrence. But one of the things that we have tried to do is to invest in healthcare. So again, as member of parliament, it is not my job to do all of these things, but I'm providing leadership in getting these things done. If I become successful as a member of parliament. So what we're going to do, what I've promised them is that I'm going to push for the district assembly to hire our first doctor in the history of the district and resource that doctor and our CHIPS compounds so that at least people don't have to die from basic things like malaria and typhoid and very simple things that you probably walk to a chemist and get taken care of.
Let me ask you this before you jump into the next thing. Now, this is one thing I've always wanted to ask politicians or anyone I can get close to. When politicians travel and they see what is being done outside. Let's use the UK since you've been there as well. Jeremy, you've been there as well. Why?
Why can't we even, let's forget trains and tramways.
Like
just the road.
Like road.
Just the road.
A friend of mine says that he wants to enter into the port because he goes every year.
Crazy.
No, I think that the big reason for which we see it outside and we talk about it and we're not able to do it here is because we have misprioritized and mismanaged our money.
Thank you.
We have a lot of money. We have a lot of money or potential to raise a lot of money in this country. But because we have misprioritized and we have misspent our money, I'll give you a simple example. I don't know if you've heard about the urban transport project. It was a simple project that was supposed to cut out one lane from Kaswa to Kaneshi, like what they've done in Lagos. One lane, so that the buses can move on that lane according to time, devoid of traffic. Just one lane. The World Bank that was giving us part funding made its money available. The government of Ghana was supposed to make its counterpart funding available. And our engineers were supposed to execute it and make it happen. It's been like 4 years. It can't happen. It can't happen because the government of Ghana funding is mostly delaying. The technocrats who are supposed to lead the charge and get it done always have one story or one excuse for which.
So is it our culture or is it because the rate, Ghana's growing fine, but the rate at which I see growth is like slow. We grow slow, things just don't happen. And I feel it's the 21st century. People have been out of the country, they're back. Even Jimmy mentioned potholes, like road,
basic,
like road
potholes. And the crazy thing, we filled those potholes with Live FM, your music play station.